So sometimes you don't get a true feel of what the underlying distribution of the data looks like just by doing a box plot or a bar plot, right? You If you want to see whether the distribution is say normal, right, a Gaussian type distribution, or is it like is it bimodal, is it does it have any centrality to it, and so on, so does it have any outliers, right? uh, you don't get to sort of get a feel of that by looking at a box plot or a bar plot. That's why you would typically do a distribution plot. One of those types is a violin plot, right? So let's do the same thing, loan size by loan grade, right? And we're going to plot a violin plot, and it also has it's sort of like I think we have been through that kernel density plot, so it sort of gives you an idea as to how the data is distributed, right? So as you can see that a bulk of the data is around this point, right? There are some outliers in here. In here you can sort of see that the data is more spread out, right? uh, you can also see that I think there are some obvious patterns. You can sort of make a case for trying to describe whatever you're trying to describe here, but it's pretty obvious for this AAA grade customer that you have more spread in the data, right? It also has a box plot embedded in it. Not that you can read much into it, but yeah, you can sort of get a sense that there is this point which is white, which is the median, and you see the 75th and the 25th percentile and so on, so right. Let's do another violin plot. This is loan grade by APR. Let's see what we find here, right? Uh, yeah, this one actually tells you more, right? So here you see that the APR, which is the percentage rate this company is charging a customer, the interest rate this company is charging this customer, they are charging a very low interest rate for someone who has a AAA rating versus, of course, D and E rating, right? And you can also see that the band around this AAA rating is a lot tighter, right? You don't have a lot of deviation or spread in the APR or the interest rate being charged for someone with a AAA rating versus someone with say E rating, right? So there could be some other factors which are causing someone with a D or E rating in terms of loan grade, right, to have a much bigger span in terms of, or much bigger spread, right? So you can see this kind of things when you are doing a violin plot, which might not be or maybe not very evident when you're doing a doing a bar plot or a box plot. Okay. Let's see. So this is a factor plot, which is a box plot. I think we have been talking about. Okay. Let's see. Warning signs. Okay, so I think it is telling you that factor plot is no longer available. So let's do a cat plot instead. So always do cat plot. Okay. I think factor plot. They keep changing they keep upgrading this package. So sometimes what a command you would have used in the past does not is no longer applicable, right? So you want to keep track of these changes, and unfortunately you cannot capture a lot of these things in like say one lecture. So every time you're doing something which is custom to what you need, you might refer to this notebook, but you can also do your own research by just plain googling it, right? And you will come across a lot of stuff on how to do this in Seaborn versus how to do this in Matplotlib and so and so, right? And a lot of this thing I built, I've created is all by looking around, right? So and there's so much out there that I don't think you can capture a lot of those things in one session, right? So box plot, this is the same for the same data, loan grade by APR. As you can see, it tells you the levels, right? But it doesn't tell you sort of the distribution. So this distribution tells you where the mean is. This would not tell you where the mean is as clearly as this one does. Okay. So something along those lines, right? So you can use both of them simultaneously, sort of to understand the data structure and to understand the underlying data structure, or you can use one or the other. Okay. And I would say if I had a choice between these two, I would always use the violin plot.